We've said a couple things about no's here, but generally speaking, your body is going to give you 3 responses, and those will be yes, no, and maybe, which you might also call I don't know. And the trap we fall into here is that we desire certainty and we have urgency generally, and especially when it's a situation where you're on a date, especially if you're trying to pace and get to know somebody and slow date, you're going to be consciously or unconsciously looking for some kind of certainty in a situation that doesn't call for certainty at all. I would argue that there's no certainty about almost anything, which is a very disturbing sensation for people. And we do a lot of growing into the feeling of uncertainty and how to hold it. This is especially true when it comes to yes, no, and maybes about meeting somebody new.
Learning these categories was so important for me when I was in that dating phase. When you grow up the way I grew up, maybe how you grew up, nobody cared about my yes, no, or maybe. Nobody even said that those were options for me to consider. Definitely not that anyone was going to take that into account in the final decision making of how we do things.
Right.
So the idea that you would know your yes, no, maybes can feel very foreign and also super overwhelming. But good thing we're going to show you really simple, practical ways to start getting to know these yes, no's, and maybes. I'm going to add on a separate category, a 4th category. But before I do that, I want to talk about the maybes. So sometimes it's an I don't know because I don't have enough information yet. I need to spend more time with this person. And so I don't know whether I like this or I don't. I don't know whether this is a yes for me or a no. Sometimes the I don't know is I have gathered information. I know this about you now, and I don't actually know how I feel about it yet. I don't know if that works for me. And that's also valid. So whatever your I don't know is, it's allowed.
Yeah.
Hang out with it. Get curious. Yeah. Did you want to say more on that?
Yeah, I want to say practice this outside of this high stakes environment of dating. Like if you don't know what you want to eat for dinner, that's a great place to start. I can't remember, it was a year. Yeah, it was a year learning my intuition, learning my felt sense of what was true and what path my body and mind wanted to take me on. So that was as simple as going for an intentional walk where I listen to if my body wants to turn left or right. Like these are the places to get to know your body's signals in very simple, low stakes ways that have no actual impact on your life and give you a huge opportunity to experience the results of these tests.
Yes, for sure. You absolutely have to build the practice of hearing your yes, no's, and maybes in really simple everyday moments. Do I want to sit down or stand up? Do I want to lay down on my stomach or my back? Something that simple. Do I want to use this glass or that one? Do I want to wear these shoes or those shoes? I literally practice with this. And when you listen to us, you may think, these are ridiculous. How would this help me with dating? But oh my gosh,
Super
it
helpful.
helps with everything. I tell you, I didn't even know how I was choosing my shirt each day. If I don't know how I'm choosing my shirt, how am I choosing my person? How'd you end up in that one? Oh, they liked me.
Ta-da! Yeah. I
Right.
really
So,
notice now when somebody asks me if I want or don't want something, I stop and check. You'll see me going, oh, I'll receive their request. And I'm like, yes, I do want that. Or, ooh, no, thank you. You know, there's an obvious messaging system that I didn't know was there. And you all have it too. I swear to God.
yeah, I think I have 3 modes now, generally speaking. I have my immediate yes that I just know is such a pure yes. I feel it right away. I'm like, yes. And then there's the pause of like, wait a second, let me check in, which is sort of what you're describing. And then there's the, ooh, which is like, there's a yes here and there's also a Let's check in with the totality of the situation, the whole context. I didn't know how to do that before. So when we're suggesting that you get clear on your yeses, here's a trap to watch out for, where little components of what you're experiencing with someone are actual yeses. They feel like yeses. But the whole is a no, or the whole is an I don't know yet, or I feel unsure, or I need some time. So let me walk you through this. I was in my swiping days, swiping in a way where I was like, I better swipe like every chance I get because I could be missing out on my person.
Right.
Every moment that I'm not swiping and getting to the end of the options means that my person could be out there and I could be missing them and then be single forever. So I was delighted anytime there was a match with someone that I'm like, oh, maybe this one will be the one. This will be the one who makes me forget about my ex. That was sort of what
Oh,
was
yeah,
going on.
yeah.
And guy seemed nice enough. He was complimentary. And like those things, if you had those two things back in the day, I was probably putty in your hands,
Like
you know,
he gave you compliments or he fit well with
compliments.
you?
And he was a nice person.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, what do you want from me? I'll sign up. Like that's sort of the bar
Yeah.
at the time. This might have been the day or the day after I met this person. And he messaged and said, oh, do you want to come over and watch a movie?
Nope.
And but wait a second. That's not what I said. I said, I like movies.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I like hanging out. Ding. Okay. So I'm like, oh, sure. What time should I come? So I like went over there. But like, as I was driving there, I'm like, I don't really know this person. Like, this is a stranger, but I like movies and I like hanging out and I like when someone asks me out. So 3 yeses, Stephanie.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, gotta go. So I go in, walk into this person's house, sit down, choose a movie, all fine. And then I get this like vibe, or maybe he actually said it with words like about snuggling. And I was like, ding, I like to snuggle.
Yeah, you do.
And then ding, 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 like I like to watch movies and snuggle. And then I'd say ding, 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 ding. I like to watch movies and snuggle and be with my person. That's what I dreamt of. So I thought it's all these yeses. At some point, the night ended and I left. And I sat in the car. I was like, what the heck was that? Only then did I put it all together that I'm like, that didn't feel good. I don't even know this person.
Yeah.
I don't want to snuggle with someone I don't really even know. I mean, he was a nice enough dude and he didn't do anything inappropriate, like nothing non-consensual. But I'm like, that's not really what lights me up. But like all those things individually, but I didn't pair together. Do you like watching movies with a stranger at their house by yourself and snuggling with them? Like, I didn't like any of that. All of that would have been no, 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 no.
And you knew this in the car afterwards?
I think in the car, like the day after, I was like,
Okay. This is super advanced. So I'm amazed. For myself, I would have slept with him and started a relationship if he would have had me. And then months later, I would have been like, why is none of this what I want? Like when I heard you begin telling this story, an older part of me perked up that was like, ooh, a sense of danger and mystery. And so like, for those of you listening who would be like, ooh, I don't know this guy and like anything could happen, even if that's like a less conscious part of you, that's going to run the show. Notice how you want to feel. Notice if you want to feel secure and content and understood and actually connected, or if you want to run your life on like, oh, I kind of don't know this guy and like, baby, like if there's any that isn't, there's a wholesome I guess, but I didn't have the wholesome version of that. And that really ran my life.
yeah, because it's putting into fuller context. Like if I take what you just said and look at myself, I want some mystery. I want some fun. I want some allure. Some like, oh, what's going to happen? I want some novelty. But I'd like that with someone who I know well and can trust and I can count on this person. I know they're going to respect my no's. Like we have enough time and evidence together that I know this person really has care and respect for me and they've demonstrated that over time. I want tons of, mystery and curiosity and fun and novelty and delight in that context.
With
But
safety.
with safety. And like, I don't want that with a stranger.
So I think the other sensation that's underneath this and what might spur us into hasty decisions like this, aside from like hope, and desire and yearning, is the uncomfortable feeling of I don't know, right? So what I'd love for you guys to practice again in low stakes, like what socks do I want to wear today? If the answer is I don't know, clock your body's experience of that. What happens in your mind when it's an I don't know? What happens in your body? What happens in your behavior set? Like this is the conditioning that we're asking you guys to look at because it's going to give you so much helpful information.
Another I don't know piece that I think I wish I could have discerned between earlier is the difference between I don't know and I sense I'm in danger. So this needs to be a no. I need to get out of this situation. There's a lot of things that we don't know, whether we like or not with someone, whether that would work for us in a relationship. But if you scan the situation and the room and the dynamic in that moment, you assess and you can see that you're not actually in danger. Some of us associate I don't know means danger, means get out immediately. And that's not always the case. There will be some cases of, I don't know, but I sense that there's danger here and I need to get out.
Like you're talking about actual physical danger potentially. I
Yeah.
think there's a self-imposed internal sense of danger that is like related to us thinking we need to do something or something's going to happen. So one of the things I noticed in regards to my yes, no, and maybe is that in my family, when there's an idea, when something's a yes, we're full steam ahead, we're doing the thing, it's happening and it's happening now. So when in the world, when people float an idea, like I was like, what the heck is floating an idea? You're either doing something or you're not, right? So if I didn't have a clear yes or no, the maybe or I don't know meant I was going to be dragged in one direction or another, right? So it was this sense of unsafety because I felt put upon and like I needed to take some action. So
Yeah.
that made me very uncomfortable with I don't know. And that means that things don't have a chance to emerge naturally, which has tremendous compounding and downstream effects. Life is much more pleasant when I can just be like, I don't know. Let's see what
Yeah.
happens.
So what you're saying is you're pairing I don't know with and I wonder. I don't know what the situation is and I wonder how it will unfold. Earlier we talked about when there may be a physical threat. And sometimes we're talking about I don't know stirs up an emotional fear of like I might be emotionally hurt by this person, but I don't have enough data to determine that at this time. One thing that is important to remember, generally speaking, people don't hurt us that badly emotionally in one moment,
Hmm.
like on a date. Is an accumulation of experiences over time that if we continue to stay, we will be emotionally hurt. That is important to discern too of, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he hurts my feelings tomorrow. If he does, I can respond to that, right? Earlier you said, I only like the yes, I like the no's because the I don't knows means that I'm going to be dragged around. And I think that
Mhm.
that languaging is really important to pull out because being dragged around to me feels very powerless. Like I'm some rag doll that I'm dragged around on someone else's whim. And I would love for us to grow the capacity to be in the I don't know, I wonder. And when new data comes in, I decide again. And that we can say, I don't know. And I'm a yes to staying open for one more day.
Yeah. This is so important for those of us who tend towards anxious attachment. And I know for me, when dating, so I actually didn't have to date anyone until I was 34. I just had partners with overlap until I was like 34. And then at 35, I started dating and I was like, what the hell is any of this? Like in my world, you like each other, you're together. Boom, ta-da. And for a lot of people, that's true. And for a lot of people, it is not. And if you've got two people on the opposite side of that on a date, you're going to have a very confusing time. And for the anxious person, you're going to be going, well, do you like me? And they'll be like, yeah. And you'll be like, great. So then we're getting married. And they'll be like, I don't know you yet. Like we need to let this emerge. And when we're not comfortable with sitting in that, I don't know yet, we're demanding from the other person to future read for us. And we're attaching our value to that. And it gets so confusing and painful just because we can't sit with that very simple sensory experience of not knowing something.
Yes. So grow that muscle to be with, I don't know. I don't know what I'm having for dinner. I don't know what the summer is going to look like. I don't know, when the next time is that I'm going to see Steph. I'm okay with all of that. There was a time in my life where I would not have been okay with any of that because I thought that knowing the answers to things immediately is what would help me feel good and make my life feel good.
It is not. And there's so many ways that we've learned and that we are here to teach you how to feel good in the absence of knowing.
Yes. And I want to add it's a yes. And I feel nervous and scared
Well, yeah.
because sometimes our yeses don't feel just yes and great. They
Mhm.
feel yes and holy crap. What does this mean now? Yes. And oh, I also feel scared that I could be really seen here or that it could become something really great and I might mess it up or you might just leave me. Those are yeses too. And like we want to learn how to feel the yes of that and also feel the fear that's there. And like know that they're two separate things. What makes me feel super sad is when we talk to people and their yes is like this small. And then they're, oh, but I'm so scared. I met this person and like things feel so great. But like blah, 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 but, and all this. We don't want to minimize your fears. We really want to hold your fears with gentleness and compassion. And also, can we dance with your yes for a moment first? Like, how cool is it that you met someone that you feel a yes towards, or you met someone where there's many things about them you feel a yes towards? Can we let ourselves really fully feel the yes, fully feel the no's, fully feel the I don't knows, and fully feel the I feel a bit scared or I feel a lot scared? And then be with that whole experience of what it's like to be in connection with this person and allow that to inform you moment to moment, whether it's still a yes for you to stay and explore with this person. Some people think a yes, like you said, Steph, a yes means I'm marrying you. No, when we're dating, a yes just means yes, and I want to hang out with you one more time. That's all.